Guys, it's coffee time. And I'm having one of those magical days where I was convinced that it was so much later than it actually is. I just got off of a call. I've been in, today so far, I've been in 2 meetings and 2 phone meetings. So 4 meetings total. And I got off the phone just now and I looked at the clock and I was blown away because I thought for sure it was like 4, maybe 4:30, but it's only 2 o'clock. I've budgeted my time so well today so far. I mean, it wasn't entirely me. It's not like I decided on the timing for all of these meetings. This was all planned external to me, and it just all worked out that it was finished by 2. Magic! It makes me really happy because, look, this will not surprise any of you that the number of times that I get zoned in on something, whether it's work or procrastination, really both are kind of awful. And sometimes I get so invested and focused on something that by the time I look at the clock, I'm like, I did not budget my time well at all today. You know, like I was nitpicking this one thing that I just wasn't happy with, or I wound up in a weird YouTube vortex while I was trying to do research, and it's just, everything just falls apart. But not today, sirs and madams, which means that the finale has to go well. I'm taking this as a sign. I'm not jinxing it. I'm just saying that so far today has gone well, which means that it's either going to turn on me and get awful because of the Hannibal finale, or it's going to continue in a wonderful way. And I'm sure, okay, look, there are going to be a lot of feelings involved with the Hannibal finale no matter what. So, what I can hope for is that it ends in a way where my mind is just, like, where it blows me away somehow. That's all I want, NBC Hannibal. I just want you to blow my mind somehow. Because the feels are inevitable. So give me feels that also make me think about things, right? That's all that I want. I think that I'm not the only one who was very disappointed with the amount of action that was involved in the Game of Thrones finale, but we had a lot go on before that, right? So like this last episode of Hannibal, no spoilers, but this last episode of Hannibal was more of a building up to something episode. So I'm like, finale, be intense. You don't get to do this with Sherlock. When you watch BBC Sherlock, there are only 3 episodes, and they're all 90 minutes long. So it's not like you can be like, oh, that last episode of Sherlock was just a building up to the finale episode. No, no, no. No, no, no. It's more like, oh, the last 30 minutes of this episode were the build up to the next 30 minutes where my mind got blown. And then the 30 minutes after that where I just felt all the feelings, right? That's how Sherlock runs. So it's a very different... The experience of watching Sherlock is so different. And I still don't entirely understand why they decided to do it the way that they're doing it with Sherlock. Like, having it be 90-minute episodes. It's literally like they've basically made 6 Sherlock movies. Right? Just like same actors, just 6 Sherlock movies and plopped them on the BBC. And they're great, but the progression sometimes feels a little bit off. I think because by nature, each episode has to be a full story almost. And also and don't get me wrong, Sherlock is probably my favorite show. But there are also moments where you feel like some of the relationship characterization was a little bit lost in the writing. Just like smidges. Which is why when people say that they didn't like the Hounds of Baskerville episode, I'm like, you crazy, because it was so necessary to have like a bromance episode. I thought that it was really necessary to establish like friendship to have like this episode where all of that happened, because then the last episode is just like just everything blows up. It was great. It's great. Love BBC Sherlock with all my heart. all my heart and soul, and I'm starting to get super invested in Hannibal in the same way. But with Hannibal, it's hard because Hannibal makes you love a horrible person. Like, Hannibal is one of those shows where if you've read the books, if you know anything about the Hannibal universe, you're like, this isn't going to end happily. Like, you just know it. At least with Sherlock, you can be like, okay, like, I can deal with all this, right? I can deal with all these feelings because eventually somebody's going to be happy. But you don't necessarily feel that way with Hannibal. You're like, even in these happy moments, it's just throwing me off of the bigger meaning and purpose, which is that everybody is going to be upset by the end. This is blah. So, yes. Everybody keeps comparing it to Dexter. I don't know how many of you have seen Dexter. Dexter was really great at first. And then it kind of went downhill for me, and I haven't watched the last couple of seasons. But, wait, how many seasons are there? Is it the last couple of seasons I haven't watched, or just the last season? Seasons of Dexter. I thought that the season that just happened was supposed to be the last season, and now everybody's like, no, it's coming back, another season. I'm like, did I just misunderstand? Is this next season the last season? Okay, there are, oh my goodness, there are 8. They're about to start season 8, which is going to be the last season of Dexter. I've watched, holy poop, I've watched, I think, 5. That's where I stopped, because it just went. But everybody says that it's like this. Like it did, just like Fast and the Furious. Like starts strong, and dive bombs a little, and then comes back up strong, apparently. So I'm willing to believe that maybe that's the case. But am I willing to sit through possibly terrible seasons of Dexter? I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that there was a time way back when, look, we're just going to cover all the TV shows. There was a time way back when that Supernatural had a set number of seasons that it was going to be. And then they just kept going. And my friend Sarah and I looked at each other and we said, this is not going to end well. It's just going to crash and burn. Nobody's going to watch it anymore. We were so wrong. we were just so amazingly wrong about that. Supernatural has stood the test of time in a big way. People still love Supernatural, which blows my mind. I mean, I still love Supernatural, but it blows my mind how many people still love it, like with all their heart. It's incredible to me. I don't know. Fandoms are so interesting. Like the way that really the people, now that, I don't want to say that now that the internet is a thing, because it's been a thing for a while now. It just hasn't been a thing for my entire life. So I still sometimes think of the internet as being new, even though I've been so invested and part of it for so long. But it's interesting how not too long ago you weren't able to have as tight-knit of a community revolving around one form of media. And now really the people who watch a show can sometimes be the thing that breathe life back into it. At a time when a show probably should have failed, the people that are watching it and the community that surround it are able to keep each other invested, which is so interesting. I find that fascinating because I think that there are plenty of shows that would have lost steam and haven't. I don't know. It's very interesting to me. But yeah, long story short, watching the season finale of Hannibal tonight on the projector. And it's gonna be magical, but I'm also gonna feel everything right here. That's gonna be so hard. And then all my shows are leaving me. Then I'm gonna have to like wait around for one of them to come back, or I'm gonna have to try to get invested in a new show. But all of the ones that I've heard good things about, or things along the lines of, I think you would like this show, all of those shows, people on a scale of 1 to 10 have given me 7s, mostly. That doesn't entirely convince me. Like, if to me, Sherlock and Hannibal are like pretty much 10s, right? Then calling something a 7, it's not worth my time. Like, that's how I feel. So, I don't know. But maybe it's worth my seeing whether or not my opinion would be different, right? I don't know. I need to just push past the feelings. I need to push past the feelings and start a new show once this is over so that I can band-aid my poor heart, because I know it's going to need it. But as for right now, I've ordered chicken tenders to be delivered to my door, and I think I deserve that. I don't really, I'm just lazy. I got all the way home, and I was like, oh no, I didn't get food. Oh, but I have this phone meeting. Click, 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 click. Alright, cool, I've got food on the way. So, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go edit. Hope that you guys had a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah!